Long ago, in the frozen lands of the north where storms rolled like dragons across the sky and mountains stood like ancient gods, there were warriors who lived and died by the sword. But death on the battlefield was not the end. For some, death was a passage into glory, and those who guided that destiny were the Valkyries. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful and mysterious forces in Norse mythology, the Valkyries. They're often portrayed as angelic warrior maidens with shining armor and wings, but the original Norse legends describe them as something much older, stranger, and more powerful than that. So sit back, relax, or sharpen your axe, because this is the real story of the choosers of the slain. The word Valkyrie comes from the Old Norse Valkyra, meaning chooser of the slain. Their purpose was simple, yet terrifying. They rode to battlefields, chose which warriors would die, and carried their spirits to the afterlife. But here's where the story gets deeper. They didn't just pick the brave, they picked the worthy. Those whose courage, strength, and spirit would make them valuable in the Hall of the Gods. Because these warriors were being gathered for a final war, Ragnarök, the end of the world. So every fallen warrior was not just dead, they were being recruited. The Valkyries served Odin, the All-Father. Odin knew the end of the world was coming. The gods would face giants, monsters, and chaos itself. He needed the strongest humans to fight for him. So Odin sent the Valkyries to battle, not to save lives, but to choose who should die. The stronger the fallen warrior, the stronger Odin's army in Valhalla. This idea reveals something core to Norse belief. Death was not failure. Death was purpose. When a Valkyrie chose a warrior, his spirit would rise and travel with her to Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain. Valhalla is not a peaceful paradise. It is a warrior's heaven. Every day the fallen would fight, die, rise again, feast, drink from endless mead barrels watched over by Valkyries. They trained for one reason: to stand beside Odin during the final battle. But not every warrior went to Valhalla. Some Valkyries took the dead to Folkvangr, the field of the goddess Freya, a gentler afterlife ruled by love, magic, and destiny. Freya and Odin shared the dead. This tells us the Valkyries were not just soldiers, they were part of the cosmic balance of fate. Today, Valkyries are often imagined as shining women with wings, but the Old Norse poems describe them differently. Their armor glowed like fire, their eyes were like storm clouds, their horses rode on thunder. Sometimes they were beautiful, other times they were frightening, like ravens circling a corpse. Because originally, Valkyries may have been battle spirits or even shape-shifting ravens, guiding death. Later, storytellers blended them with the image of noble warrior maidens, and the two ideas became one. Among all Valkyries, one is remembered above the rest: Brynhildr. Fierce, proud, honorable. She defied Odin. During battle, she protected a warrior who was not meant to live, a man whose heart she believed was pure. For this disobedience, Odin punished her. He struck her with sleep. He stripped her of immortality, and he placed her on a mountain surrounded by an eternal ring of flame. Only a hero brave enough to walk through fire could awaken her. That hero was Sigurd, the greatest dragon slayer of the North. They fell in love, but through betrayal and manipulation, that love turned to grief, and eventually, tragedy. Brynhildr's story reminds us that even divine warriors, can be undone, not by swords, but by love and fate. There's one misconception that appears a lot online. People think Valkyries and shield maidens were the same, but they weren't. Valkyries are supernatural beings who choose the dead. Shield maidens are real human women who fought in battle. But many shield maidens claimed Valkyries watched over them. Some warriors believed the Valkyries whispered in their dreams, guiding them to glory. At the end of time, during Ragnarok, the sky will split open. Odin will lead the warriors of Valhalla into battle, and the Valkyries will ride beside them, not as guides, but as warriors. The choosers of the slain will become the slayers of the end. They are not just messengers of death, they are the final cavalry of the gods. The Valkyries were more than warriors. They were symbols of courage in the face of death, honor in battle, purpose in sacrifice, destiny greater than individual life. To the Vikings, death was not something to fear. Only a life without bravery was worth fearing. And the Valkyries ensured that those who fought with courage would be remembered for eternity. If you enjoyed this journey into Norse mythology, like, subscribe, and comment below. Which Valkyrie should I cover in a full dedicated video next? Brynhildr, Gondul, Skulb, Freya's role? Thanks for watching, and may your path be guided by honor.